Maria, thanks so much. We are up in Skyfox right now. We are watching a brush fire right now in Ventura County. Of course, the winds are an issue here. Stu, tell us what's going on.
Well, we're just arriving here at Skyfox, making our way out here to Ventura County. Take a look at that. That spread rate is phenomenal, and I don't mean that in a good way at all. This started out clearly as a small brush fire. 250 acres is what we were hearing on our way out here, but that number just growing before our eyes. They did say that there were some structures involved out here as well. Where are we? Well, calling this Balcom Canyon, 7900 block of Balcom Canyon is actually where the initial call was for this fire. It definitely looks like vegetation out here, but when I say vegetation, I mean farms. This is definitely some farmland out here, and that fire is just being pushed by these winds. Skyfox clocking some of these winds right now at 40 to 55 miles an hour, and that is quite a push. Let's get a little bit of a wider shot there. You know, when we go to these brush fires, you see those plumes going straight up in the air. This one laying completely flat, and that, again, that spread rate just continues to move. Ventura Fire, they have a huge battle on their hands right now, and of course they are talking about some evacuations of homes out here in the smoke. Like I said, we're just getting out here in the smoke. We can make out some homes in that area. They do not look like they're burned, and of course this area right here, you would think that that fire is already passed from there out to the west, out from the east to the west. We did see one helicopter out here dropping water, but one helicopter against all this fire, and again, we know there's boots on the ground, but where they are and how they're battling it, that is yet to be seen by us. Again, though, if you're in the Ventura County area, especially if you know this portion out here by Balcom Canyon, and let me get some streets for you up here, like right there where we're looking. This is going to be near Olive Hill Road. I'm not very good with the Ventura area, but I can tell you that that's probably going to be a smaller road, and this gives you some idea of size right there. That pickup truck, that guy, basically probably from that farmland, looking at what's going on. I think there's a helicopter coming towards us right there, and that is going to be that Ventura County. That's their newer helicopter. Oh, I'm sorry. That's that is actually a contract ship that's going to be dropping some water, but it gives you an idea of the size of this fire compared to what they're doing. These winds are just going to be the biggest problem for these firefighters right now, and that spread rate continues as the winds are pushing from the east to the west out here in the Ventura area.
Yeah, Stu, just getting more information about this fire. It started around Bradley Road and west to Kings Grove Road, both north and south. And according to emergency services there, they requested 8 engines to battle this, as well as 4 fixed-wing aircrafts. They have been requested, but so far, as you mentioned, you haven't seen any of that. But obviously, they want to make sure that the structures in that area are protected and secured, especially around Bradley and Coyote, according to first responders and dispatchers on the scene right there. But according to this, the fire reportedly crossed Bradley Road approaching the 118. So that's a big deal. And even if you don't see visible flames, if you're in that area, there's residences. Obviously, they're going to be impacted by the smoke, and the wind is a factor as well. How bad is the wind out there, Stu?
Well, the winds out here, according to Skyfox, we're actually clocking some of these winds at about 55. The tops are 55 miles an hour. So that is quite a push, and they're actually bumping us up right now. They're putting us up at 5,000 feet, which might actually be a blessing for us. But you can see one of those command posts right there. That's actually on Balcom Road. That might be the address that they were talking about, and you can also get an idea. Just look at that vegetation down there just blowing, just moving in the winds. I'm going to kind of move away from what we're looking at right there, bring it back over to where we can see some of those active flames just jumping from hillside to hillside out here. Ventura Fire Department, they've got a huge battle on their hands, and of course these guys, they're the ones to handle it, but there are homes in the path of these flames, and of course they're probably talking about evacuations. That contract ship that we were talking about, their name escapes me right now, just did a water drop out here on one hotspot, and again, this is how they battle it, one hotspot at a time. But out here, this is going to be the far eastern part of the fire, and the areas that have already burned, which is probably several hundred acres. Take a look at that, how quickly that has moved through that farmland out here and continues to grow, and it's actually growing in 2 directions, north, actually 3, north, south, east, and I'm sorry, north, south, and west is the directions these flames are going in. And of course, plenty of homes out here as well. And I just saw another drop of a water dropper, but boy, the job that these guys have is immense. And of course, these winds are just going to keep pushing these flames. There's very little they can do to stop where it's going. They can just kind of try to control the direction of those flames.
Yeah, that's true. You mentioned 55 miles per hour. Those gusts, though, could reach up to 80 miles per hour, especially in the wind-prone mountain spots. That is, of course, something that we're mindful of. And today is the day those winds are expected to peak, and these conditions are going to stay pretty gusty and dry through tomorrow. Humidity levels also dropping into single digits, it appears. Maria is actually standing by right now. Maria, feel free to jump in and talk a little bit about this, because you have been warning us about the danger of these winds, and we're seeing the results of what could happen.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we started talking about this episode of strong gusty winds really since yesterday. These winds really coming out of the northeast hard, and we talked about how it was going to be even stronger than what we experienced this past Sunday into Monday. These winds, I just looked at some of the gauges around this area, and they are sustained nearing 30 to 40 miles an hour. As you know, the fire will create its own weather. Yeah, looking at Ventura County here.